A very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord, and in our news, a criminologist suggests background checks before jumping into relationships. Preparing for the BLP's Founders Day picnic. Visitor arrivals up for the first quarter of this year. And in sports, no surprises in the Windies World Cup team following an all-inclusive selection policy.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC News Night, starting now.
And in our top story, there needs to be a system in place for Barbadians to find out whether or not their partner has a criminal history. The suggestion from noted criminologist Kim Ramsey as she spoke exclusively to CBC's Shane Jones in light of recent violent domestic crimes. And he joins us live now. And Shane, background checks. Now, that seems a bit extreme, you don't think?
Yeah, well, Lisa, you know, just recently, Attorney General Dale Marshall spoke about murders being committed by repeat offenders. Now, what we're seeing is that some of the violent domestic abuse and sometimes murders as well are also following that pattern of repeat offenders.
So you mean like when there's continuous abuse in the home and it leads to an eventual murder, for instance?
Yes, but not only that, also in terms of people committing violent domestic crimes, serving time for them, and then coming out only to do the same thing to another unsuspecting victim. Ms. Ramsey, a criminologist of 17 years or so, had some strong views on Barbadians, especially women, seeking out background checks before they get involved with someone. Take a look at part of that exclusive interview.
Barbados is a small country, and, you know, women going to the person's village. If you know somebody that, if he mentions a school he went to, you can find out from people in his age group what type of person was he going to school. But we need to do more research on, you know, persons, especially in situations where it can lead to violence. So we need to talk, we need to explore in relationships about the type of person you're getting involved with. As I said, the island is small. You just ask a couple of questions.
Some people may say it might be hard to get certain information. Is there anything you can put forward, any kind of mechanism to make it easier for people to do these background checks? And sometimes they may not want people to feel like they're snooping in their lives.
Well, in this day and age where violence is pervasive in our society, I believe that we should have a system similar to, I was talking to some friends of mine yesterday from the UK, police persons, and persons that work in the criminal justice system, and they spoke about this law called Clear's Law, which came about in 2014, I think it was. And what happened with this particular lady is that she got involved with this guy. She did not know that he had a criminal background, and by the time she found out it was too late, he killed her. He strangled her, and he burned her. So coming out of that, the British, they implemented this legislation called Clear's Law, where it gives you permission or allows you to go and do background checks on persons that you want to get involved with.
So as a criminologist of just over 17 years in Barbados, do you think something like that can work in Barbados? Oh,
I believe so. I mean, if persons, that's a formal way of doing things, because you have to apply to go and do this background check in the UK. But as I said, in the absence of that, Barbados, 166 square miles. I think that, I think it can work in Barbados. I think we should have some kind of database, not only for persons who want to check on domestic violence, but sex offenders, for instance. Because you may be getting involved with a rapist and you don't know, you know, what he can potentially do to you or to your child. Because you may have a 2-3-year-old in your house, and you can get involved with this man, and you don't know that 15 years ago he was charged.
Well, Lisa, that was pretty much the message Ms. Ramsey wanted to get out, that it's usually a cycle when it comes to most of these offenders, and people really should do some serious investigation when inviting someone into their life. Back to you, Lisa.
Some pretty heavy stuff there, Shane. Thanks so much. Well, thousands of Barbadians and Barbados Labour Party supporters are expected to converge on the island's east coast in the next few days for its annual Founders Day picnic. It's being held under the theme, We Gathering, Stay the Course at Barclays Park. Earlier today, several party and law enforcement officials visited the area to finalize plans for that event. BLP Chairman and Parliamentary Representative for St. Andrew, George Payne, expects a large turnout.
As I speak, we expect about 150 buses, and when I say 150 buses, not necessarily from the Transport Board, because we are also involving a lot of the private concessionaires, the minibuses, route taxis, and as you know, last time the area was more or less blockaded in some way, in that there are a number of persons who wanted to come and they could not. We are looking at the possibility of having persons who would not be able to get directly to the site right here at Barclays transported, but we have not yet finalized that.
And the party chair also hinted that a special treat will be in store for attendees.
A lot of the artists have actually given their time gratis, and I'm hoping that we have an enjoyable time up here, especially it being the weekend of the Buju show, and there will be Buju Mania down here at Barclays Park. I'm not saying that Buju will be here down here too, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, because I've been told that there is going to be a surprise.
Thousands of primary and secondary school students across the island will soon have healthier options to remain hydrated. This as the Barbados Muslim Association rolled out a $35,000 project, which will see coolers being installed at all schools. Secretary of the association, Suleiman Bubulia, made the revelation as the association donated a water cooler to the Gordon Walters Primary School.
This year, we embarked on an ambitious project to outfit every primary and secondary school on the island that needed one with a water cooler. We recognize that this project may take a few years, but our Muslim community, by the grace of the Almighty, have come on board and have been extremely generous in giving funds to ensure it happens. Our target is 10 schools this year, but our treasurer here, Mr. Pandor, is telling us that we may very well surpass that number.
An acting Education Minister, Senator Lucille Moore, was on hand for that presentation. She also encouraged the students to adopt healthy habits.
Take all those things into consideration and get plenty exercise, and to also look at the type of foods that you're eating. The government of Barbados, certainly the ministries of Agriculture, Ministry of Education, along with the Ministry of Information, we are all trying our best to participate in this endeavor and to help the cause of Barbadians living healthier lifestyles.
What's Trending is brought to you by Trident Insurance. We treat you like family.
And we say good evening now to Sharika, who is in our social media corner.
Good evening, Lisa. And here's what's trending. The 2019 West Indies World Cup squad has been announced. We'll have the full story in the sports segment in just a few, but social media has been buzzing with reaction. Eunice Khan says for the first time in a while, West Indies has a strong side. He says there's some really good names in the squad, and he believes with all the teams announced so far, this World Cup may turn out to be quite the tournament. Colin Sandy says, best of luck to my team, but he's a little disappointed that Kimo Paul was overlooked. And Mario Codling believes the squad is lacking in the batting department. He's questioning the need for 6 pace bowlers. Now, this next video shows what could happen when some good old-fashioned Bajan talent is combined with a little bit of creativity. Take a look.
Top slow phone using electric motor on his bicycle, solar charge controller, solar panel, and battery. And he is getting his business done very effectively.
Surround speakers too.
Surround speakers.
And it has a horn.
Wow, fantastic.
A photo showing 3 young men in Alabama sharing a meal with an elderly woman has gone viral for all the right reasons. In a Facebook post that has now been shared 46,000 times, Jamario Howard says while he and his friends waited for their food at a restaurant, he noticed the woman sitting alone. Well, he decided to ask if he could sit with her, and she agreed. It turns out the woman, Eleanor, had lost her husband and the next day would have been their 60th anniversary. However, Howard says the point is you should always be kind to people since you never know what they're going through. He says Eleanor changed his outlook on life and how he looks at other people. And that's certainly commendable. And this photo of 24-year-old Shema Ismail has also been generating plenty of interest. The young woman was attending a conference of the Islamic Circle in Washington, D.C. when she saw a group of protesters holding signs against the Muslim faith and the Prophet Muhammad. So she asked her friend to take a picture of her while she flashed a smile squatting in front of them. Shema then posted the photo on Instagram along with a quote from Prophet Muhammad. It read, "Kindness is a mark of faith, and those who aren't kind have no faith." And Erica Kane is proof that a single post could change your life forever. The young woman was recorded singing and ringing up a customer's bill because she was on the job. Well, millions of people, including me, I have to admit, have been absolutely blown away by Kane's unbelievable vocals. Take a listen. Just amazing. And since that video was uploaded, Kane has appeared on Good Morning America, The Steve Harvey Show, and even performed in Times Square. And that's what's trending for this evening. You can find us easily on Facebook, Instagram, and by email. Lisa, do you know that when we were talking about superpowers, I wish that mine was singing?
Well, she definitely has a pipe, Sharika.
Most certainly.
Thank you so much. Efforts are in the works to provide standardized training for dental surgery assistants. This is according to Minister of Health, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, as he addressed the 17th Annual Caribbean Dental Program Convention at the Accra Beach Hotel today. He says that this training course will be made possible through a collaboration between the CDP and the Barbados Community College.
Currently, there's a great variation in how dental surgery assistants are trained in each dental practice. This course will standardize the training of these members of staff who currently display varying degrees of knowledge and skills. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation will be included in this course, and consideration will be given to structuring an online component facilitated by the Barbados Community College.
Meantime, Chairman of the Caribbean Program, Dr. Victor Eastman, revealed that this weekend, a free session will be hosted to gather input on what the course should offer.
We are hosting Sunday morning a free exercise for anyone who would like to come and have some education in what the dental surgery assistance course is all about.
Well, at least one service club is on a mission to instill healthy eating habits in children in an effort to combat the growing problem of obesity. The Kiwani's Barbados South Club attracted 19 children at its recently concluded David Rollins Nutrition Camp at the Hilda Skeen Primary School. Students described the two-week sessions as eye-openers, and they learnt about the versatility of vegetables.
I learned how to make things like pumpkin cakes and green banana patties. First, I didn't know that they were actually made out of vegetables, but when I saw them making it, I was surprised. It tastes very good.
We learned a lot of nutrition facts. We learned about fire safety. We learned what a lot of salt that things can contain by reading food labels. We learned how to make foods out of vegetables, which were surprisingly tasting very good.
And this is the 5th year for that camp, and Kiwani's Barbados South past president and camp counselor Leoline Rollins is hoping that the students will continue to encourage others to adopt positive eating habits.
We are hoping that they will encourage their parents to shift the diets, because when they first came, a lot of them were saying they didn't like breadfruit, they didn't like carrot, but we showed them different ways in which they can use these products, and they have been compliant. Some of them said they went home and got their parents to do some of the dishes that they have done here. One young man said to me he took the green banana patty home and gave his mom, and she ate it, and when she asked him what it was, he said green bananas, and she said, but I don't eat green banana. But she had already eaten it, and she didn't realize that she was eating green bananas.